Anyone wishing to speak to any of the applications, please indicate so that you will have that opportunity to do so. I'd first like to start off by introducing the staff and the members. To my left over here is Don Gill, our administrator. Next to him is Bill Farrell, the zoning officer. Over there is Crystal Way and Glenn Road. And this is Jeff Madden with BMRC. With that said, I'd like to introduce Will Tolles, Bruce Julian, Hunter Sled, and Andy Ransom, and I'm Edna Revere. With that said, I'm calling up the first applicant, Kim M. Greenfest. Is someone here to represent him, please?
Hello, my name is Lacey Lester, and I'm representing Ms. Greenfest. She is proposing to install 145 foot of riprap revetment against her existing phase.
Before you start, honey, I have to read the ad. The ad that goes in the paper says Kim M. Greenfest and Kara Glenn Lester is requesting permission to construct a 145-foot riprap revetment against an existing bulkhead along the shoreline of Lancaster Creek, located off Virginia State Highway 622, Moradica Road, on Seashell Lane, tax map number 4-88, BMRC number 22-0900. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm here representing Mrs. Greenfest. Her existing bulkhead is deteriorating, and she's losing part of her property. So we are proposing to install a riprap revetment up against the bulkhead on filter cloth to stabilize it and preserve her property.
Could you also explain the buried toe, the toe that's going in?
Yeah, there will be a buried toe made out of riprap, that'll go below the surface of the.
And it's going to tow into the bank?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll also tie into the existing riprap that her neighbor has right next door.
Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak to this? Board members?
I have no questions.
Mr. Rowe, is there anyone online that wishes to speak to the? Okay, with that said, there's no one on Zoom, and we have heard the agent speak, and if there's no more questions, I entertain a motion, please.
I'd just ask for any staff comments from the county.
No, sir.
Well,
Madam Chairman, if I might, just for a moment.
oh, I'm sorry.
It's fine, it's
I
fine.
said-
To be consistent with the recent change in the code, was there a discussion between yourself and the applicant as to the use of a living shoreline?
Yes, sir, but due to where the property is located on the river and her exposure, we've determined that that would not be a good solution to resolve and maintain her shoreline and property, protect it.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairman. I have no
Y'all
further
have anything
questions.
you'd like to say? Okay. Entertain a motion, please.
I move to approve as submitted.
Did I not do that?
All
I'm
in
sorry.
favor, signify by raising your right hand. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Next on the agenda is Camille E. Bennett. Someone here representing this application?
Good morning, Craig Palavinsky with Bay Shore Design.
Okay, I'm going to read the ad. Camille E. Bennett, Care Bay Shore Design, is requesting permission to construct a 638-foot riprap seal with associated beach nourishment and plantings, and to install a 135-foot riprap revetment on the shoreline of Indian Creek, located off Virginia State Highway 650, Fleet Bay Road, on Grace Point Lane, tax map number 29-458, VMRC number 22-1138. ahead, Mr.
Okay, the proposed project, there's two parts to this. The first section is 638 feet of riprap sill. Starting on the Pittman's Cove side of the property, this is the north-facing section, just to the south of the, or actually the west of the pier. That's where the sill will start. We're also going to include beach nourishment in the areas where there isn't much wetlands vegetation, especially in the area around and adjacent to the existing pier land connection. We're proposing on that section about 40 cubic yards of beach nourishment with 600 square feet of wetlands vegetation plantings. As you recall, we were on site looking back at the bank from the pier. It is pretty shaded over there. There are some trees that are going to be looking back just to get some more sun exposure to that section of shoreline to help the marsh grasses get established. The sill is going to continue eastward to the point where Pittman's Cove and the Indian Creek meet up. At that point, we're going to transition this sill into something a little bit larger than the standard 1 foot above mean high water. We're going to raise the elevation to about almost 2 feet above mean high water with the sill. The reason being is we're an east-facing shoreline. It's on Indian Creek, and you've got a wide fetch looking right out the mouth of Indian Creek into the Chesapeake Bay. Again, the sill is going to be pretty much the same as far as the part on the Pittman's Cove, just a little bit higher and heavier stone. We're going to use Class 1 and 2 stone for the section over there on Indian Creek, whereas on the Pittman's Cove side, it'll be mostly A1 and 1 stone. The section off the point as we're heading southward is all fairly bare there. There's no vegetation at that point. Again, we're going to add 70 cubic yards of beach nourishment there with a total of 1,100 square feet of wetlands vegetation plantings. And then the remainder of the sill is mostly a marsh toe. You have a wide marsh fringe there that's got a little bit of undercut at the base of the toe of the fringe. The sill will follow the alignment of the existing marsh fringe. There will be no impacts to any vegetated wetlands. The second portion is the 135-foot riprap embankment right on the point. That's at the confluence of Indian Creek and Pittman's Cove. There's a couple trees that are severely undercut. There is some riprap placed there now, which would be removed. And we're going to shape that bank back and put in a revetment towed in at the base of the bank and just reuse some of the stone that's there as core stone base in the new revetment. That's pretty much all I have. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Hey, Craig, this is an outstanding project. I want to commend the landowner, Camille, for this project, but also lots of complexities on this particular area. And I just wondered, in the case with this proposed contractor, are you called on to lay out a project like this or meet at a pre-construction visit? Is that part of the services you provide?
I met with the contractor prior to this, and then they rely on my direction as far as, how it should be done and what to do. Has the contractor reviewed these plans? Absolutely, yes. And
Okay.
I actually spoke with the contractor after we met on site on Tuesday, and we had discussions about access. I think I had mentioned on site that we may access the shoreline from the pier and on the point. I think their plan is now they're going to bring it all by water. They have a staging site, I think, on Annapoison, and they would bring it in by water from Annapoison Creek.
That's even better.
It is tricky to get back there.
Yep, that's even better.
Yeah, so it would be done by the water.
Thank you, that's all.
Ms. Farrell, do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, ma'am.
Don?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, is anyone in the audience have anything to say? No one online. So, does the board have any further comments? Are you ready for a motion? Everybody ready for a motion?
Also move approval as submitted.
Second.
All in favor, signify by raising your right hand. Okey-dokey. Approved as submitted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. With that said, I'm going to ask Mr. Julian here to go over this apparent violation here and and explain to all of us exactly what is going on down there. Mr. Julian?
Thank you, Edna. Each of the board members has aerial photographs of this particular potential violation. A couple of weeks ago, I received an anonymous complaint about filling and building within a wetland. And subsequent to that, after that, a couple of days, I brought that to the attention of county staff and building official. Photographs are included there. There's also, thanks to Mr. Farrell, we've gotten a plat plan, and you'll see the area that I've circled is where this structure is, built clearly in wetlands delineated by land surveyor B.L. Stallings. And I'll be happy to answer any questions from the board.
With this violation, we're gonna need to visit the site and decide what we need to do. Is that,
I think the way to proceed would be to advise further investigation by county staff and bring that
Okay.
back to the board.
good?
But right now, it's a pretty obvious potential violation, but until staff makes a determination, I would feel more comfortable with that happening because I'm not sure we, as members, have authority to go on that property yet. But I would also, so I will make a motion, though, for the board to direct this potential violation to county staff for further investigation. Further, I want VMRC to investigate this for violations to the Code of Virginia.
I'm certain that'll be done, sir.
So I will refer that to them as well in this motion
Okay.
for both. Jeff, I also I'm not sure, but this also looks like a core issue as well.
I see.
And so maybe we need to get Ms. Davis involved in this if it's a jurisdictional wetland. And from the appearance of it, at least at high tide, there's filling going on. There's a structure placed in the wetland. There's also a huge pile of sand that appears to be ready to be discharged into the wetland to basically cover up all the wetland grasses. So I would like, I don't know how maybe staff should contact the Corps as well, Don? Bill?
Yeah, this particular person also has a Bay Act site plan pending, so we can definitely handle the structural violation. I think where the Wetlands Board will come in will be damage to wetlands and
Yes.
VMRC as well, so.
I would also, I'm not changing my motion, but I would also say that several months ago, the stripping of the RPA on this property was also reported to the county staff. So lots of things to investigate.
That was why the Bay Act site plan was prepared.
Thank you.
Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second.
Moved and second. All in favor, signify by raising, okay, 5. Okay, Bruce, that's good, thank you.
Edna, I've got one other quick thing while Don's here.
Okay,
A little over 18 months ago, this board investigated 2 violations on properties that were subsequently investigated by county staff and turned over to county attorney. And I'd like at the next meeting to at least get response from the county attorney on the disposition and status of those things, where they're at. So we could close the book or open the book or refer it to a higher authority.
Do you recall the names of those? I think I know one.
Yeah, I can give you those after the meeting. That's it.
okay. With that said, Is there any other business that we need to hear? Anyone in the audience, staff, anyone need to say whatever? If not, I ask for approval of the minutes, please, for last month.
Move the minutes be approved.
Second?
All in favor? Okay. I really can't vote because I wasn't here, but I am anyway. Okay, with that said, I'll adjourn the meeting.
Next meeting?
The next meeting, for July, what dates did you write down?
Site visits on the 12th, hearing on the 14th.
Right,
Is tentative based on, Bill said we're going to have probably several of them stacked up. And Don, we really appreciate doing a few at a time versus a
Yeah.
dozen.
and
Otherwise,